All right, I think we are live for a another Saturday night here at the Indigenous Peoples Art Gallery and Cafe. It's honor and privilege to be back here to host another stay home virtual poetry reading series. We have three great poets on tonight, so I'm very honored and excited to bring and present them to you. Um, it's been a while since we've been here doing this, kind of taking a short break from the last time we've done a show here. And, we've gotten a lot of requests to come back and do this. Um, and unfortunately, it's kind of sad to say and report that we here in Iowa haven't really had much change from the first time that we've started the show. The intent and the uh, the idea behind doing the show in the beginning was because the pandemic was just starting, and I wanted to have a creative outlet not only for myself but because I've wanted to promote the message of staying home because I was reading a lot of articles and seeing a lot of social media posts throughout the country of Native communities that were kind of being hit hard and impacted by COVID. So, I started this poetry reading show to kind of highlight and showcase Indigenous artists here. I usually have a hip hop artist part of the event as well because I like to promote hip hop and the culture. And so it's been a while, and unfortunately, here in Iowa, nothing has really changed. The numbers of COVID cases and things like that have been going up because we don't have still a mask mandate or anything like that. So life continues here, and we've seen a big spike in a lot of the college towns and things like that. So I really wanted not only to give myself a reason to stay home, but just to also I know there's a lot of things going on across the country. Since the last time we've been on, we've seen a lot of things happening, social change going on across all the cities. There's also a lot of things going on with climate change, with the fires out west. And so here in Iowa, we had a freaking land hurricane. So, it's like things have really changed in this short time that we had our last show. And so, I just wanted to again provide a space and opportunity for Indigenous artists to come on and let some of that out, let some of this feeling out, because it is a tough time for a lot of us, and for us as Indigenous artists coming from our communities, coming from you know uh maybe some of us have traditional backgrounds and stuff like that. So we kind of see this way of life that we're experiencing right now in a different way. So it's just I thought a great opportunity and time to come back. Plus we're doing a lot here at the Indigenous Peoples Art Gallery and Cafe, just trying to bring about not only art but social change. And we're doing some other projects as well that I'll talk about throughout the show and stuff like that. But so it's been really just a great honor and a moment to bring this back and to again showcase and highlight other Indigenous artists, other Native artists throughout the country. And that's one thing you're gonna see here this evening. If you're new to the show and this is your first time watching, we've been bringing to you a lot of different storytellers from across this country, and also the world. We had some poets from New Zealand come on, and so again, it was I just thought that it's a great thing that we have here, and it's great to bring it to you. the viewers and the audience. So I hope that you're all kicking back right now, safe and healthy at homes with your families and loved ones, your relatives. Again, we are here partnered with Midwest Writing Centers, so we want to give them a shout out and a big thank you for again partnering with us and being here with us this evening to bring about this great event and show we're going to put on for you tonight. So with that, again, just want to emphasize that we are always looking for other Indigenous artists out there. So if you're interested in being a part of this show, having your work shown on this platform, you can hit us up at Indigenous Art Alliance at gmail.com, and we'll check out your work and see if you're here, you're fit to be on this show, and you have what it takes to showcase your poetry live here at the Indigenous Peoples Art Gallery and Cafe. So I also really like to encourage and promote, uh, continuing to create your art during this time and during this crazy experience that we're going through with this pandemic, and trying to navigate through that. Those of us in the Midwest, we're going through recovery from the derecho and stuff like that, and those tribes out there in the west coast, going through the fires. We want to say that we are with you and stand with you and pray for you going through that right now. So all of that. We wanted to just provide a great platform for our Indigenous artists out there. And so I want to encourage you to keep creating your art through this, and reach out to us so we can provide that platform for you to showcase your work to the world and to a new audience. um, so with that, I think we want to get into our first um, artist here, and she is no stranger to the Indigenous Peoples Art Gallery Cafe and the Stay Home Poetry reading series. Um, she was been on our first reading that we had here, and it's really great to have her come back around and be a part of this once again. Valerie Jackson is a mother of two sons and has 5 grandchildren. She is a word warrior from the Crow Reservation in Montana. She holds a Bachelor of Liberal Arts degree from ASU and a culinary certificate from Scottsdale Community College. Valerie writes poetry and is currently or still working on her memoir titled "A Blue Rock and Cloud." But lately, she's been a bread maker and still a cook, a bottle washer in her community, and feeds various people, and also is house making masks. So, um, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Valerie Jackson.
Thank you. My first piece is called Silent Warrior. My friend, your slow descent into the bottle succeeded in killing the demon who tortured you. I looked into yellow, bloodshot eyes and searched desperately for the spirit mine was connected to. Instead, I found a vacant, brown-eyed stare pointed at the ceiling. In a darkened, surrounded by strange sounds from all the machines monitoring what was left of your life. Naked, save for a white sheet covering you from the waist down, your long black hair stuck to a sweat-covered face. Tubes ran from your thick body. In the middle of your hairless brown chest, a tattooed man, arm outstretched, holding a ceremonial pipe to the sky. Was that the grown child trapped inside, the one who wanted healing, escape from that prison and from the pain that life bequeathed you? Nurses entered and removed my hand from your warm fingers, thick and skilled at Katsina carving. They took your temperature, 104, gave Tylenol, sucked out mucus with a small hose. I asked, will he come back to us? He will not be the man you knew before, they said. The nurses take blood, empty dark urine from a full bag hooked to the bed rail. Check the contents of the container that caught the fluids drained from your body. Frothy poison, the same ochre tones as the colors you use to paint on your carvings. Another young warrior silenced by the empty promises lurking at the bottom of an opaque bottle. It's my place. An evil genie resides, ready to grant wishes that always portend disaster. The inevitable shakes turned to snakes and choked off life-giving oxygen when mixed with pills. Who was Aaron Yeva? My first friend in Arizona. He was Navajo and Hopi Tewa, a mixed blood person like me. He was a world-class carver of Hopi Katsinas, a painter, a writer, a storyteller, a madman, a distance runner, a teacher, a medicine man, and friend to man and beast, including my own two fatherless sons. Aaron loaded up my boys in his two Dobermans, Buddy and Moose, and went to the banks of the Verde River at Fort McDowell, where they gathered the dry cottonwood root that lay along the bank. Both boys and dogs bounced around in the bed of the truck, dragging their heels in the dirt where they sat on the tailgate. Always anxious to help Aaron at home, Josh and Spuddy sanded away as a soft root, getting covered with the dust that eventually were made into the most intricate Katsina carvings I have ever seen. Aaron's Katsinas were sold at the Heard Museum and to private collectors. Baby, don't cry. His thick thumbs pressed to my cheekbones under my glasses, fingers holding the sides of my face. He attempted to quell the flow of tears that welled up behind my eyes. He did the right thing taking Spuddy to that wilderness camp. If my mother had done that for me, maybe I wouldn't be like this. Look at me. I wouldn't look. He lifted my tucked chin away from my chest, and through tears I saw his bloodshot eyes, and with every breath I smelled the malt liquor rolling off of him. He spit at me and said I wasn't his mother because his real mother wouldn't do that to him. Aaron's thumbs pushed harder into my face. Baby, cry. That wasn't Spud talking. Go home, smudge, pray, and then rest. You did the right thing, the only thing. You know I hate to see your blue eyes cry. We hugged. He opened my car door. I got in and he closed it. I drove down to the street to do as he had advised. The eldest sister, Estelle, arrived with the extended family at the hospital and wove together the stories of their joys and tragedies of their shared lives. Once, when their parents were gone more than a month drinking, Aaron's siblings followed him to a ditch and hid. He crossed into a field where the cattle were grazing and jumped on the back of a stout calf and broke its neck. They cut up the carcass in pieces and dragged it home and told their big sister, that white rancher donated this calf to us. Estelle sat next to him singing baby songs in Navajo. Were you waiting for me to come and call your name? Rain in furrows. Oh, my little brother. She held his hand and stroked his thick brown fingers. One was a crooked pinky and had a bird tattoo. On the other was a spider. She said, when Aaron was little, he used to carve animals out of the mud clods with his fingernails. He watched how animals ran and jumped. He chased roadrunners. He imitated antelope and sprung across wide ditches. When he was born, we tied his navel to a bucking horse. The elders said he would grow up to be wild and have a stout build. Poor thing. Now look at you. That's that story. I have some attempts at haiku, and some of them are spot on, and some of them aren't just right. So I'm just going to pause between each one, but there's about 15 of them, little short ones. I call it Mighty Few Haiku. A soft white snowflake lands in my open palm and melts right away. Outside the sweat lodge, fire enters rocks from distant blue mountains. Rain comes between us and runs down nude bodies, then covers our bare feet. Puffy chickadees, startled, take flight when the cottonwood trees pop. Vermilion clouds on the western horizon, father-son departs. Sweat lodge air fills with sweet scents of cedar and healing bare root. Half circle of crows sitting near the Sundance fires, long stretched out shadows behind. Magpies yakety yak, fighting for most tender piece of white-tail carcass. I turn a pillow in the middle of the night to smell your body. White ashen branches fall from cottonwood tree, darkened with rain. Breathing life's breath, you whisper, I love you, then nibble my ear. After the death we share, tender smiles, hands clasped tight, we cry with our life. The noble savage of James Fenimore Cooper is in serious trouble. People, please, we are now endangered and must save ourselves. We are known as Apsaloga, children of the long-beaked bird, a species long extinct. I have another one. Go ahead. Crossfire. Decades I longed to see you, brown-eyed girl. Last night you came to me in dream time. Quick and sure-footed we held hands and ran coughing through smoke-filled streets in a city under siege. Caught in the crossfire, bullets riddle your body. I drag you bleeding and brave to a dark corner, sit cradling your head in my lap, fingers tracing the outline of your almond-shaped eyes. I caress the softness of your skin and dark hair. Singing the crow lullaby for good little girls, I taste the sweetness of your dying breath. My body feels heavy with sadness in our brief encounter. My beloved, I held you only in dream time, yet the canyon your memory carves runs the length of my heart. Please forgive my naivete, brown-eyed girl, for I was caught in the crossfire too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Valerie Jackson. We want to thank you for reading your poems this evening. Once again, here at the Stay Home Virtual Poetry Reading Series. Again, check out her Facebook and be on the lookout for her up and coming memoir that she's been working on. It's been really awesome and great to have you a part of this poetry reading series. So we want to again say thank you for coming on tonight and being a part of this. Um, I also, before we get into our next reader, just want to share some things that I got coming up. Um, I'm doing a art-a-thon for PS1. It's an art-a-thon. Um, you can tune in noon Saturday, September 19th and the 20th at publicspace1.com/artathon. This is kind of an inaugural event where there'll be showcasing different artists and stuff like that here in Iowa over a 24-hour period. So they'll keep continuously running all of our segments that we contributed to this. So again, that's PS1 Saturday, September 19th and 20th. So yeah, it's pretty cool to be a part of that. Um, Shout out to PS1 for again supporting Indigenous artists like myself and doing things like this. It's kind of crazy how all of us art organizations and stuff like that are switching to virtual things. And like I said in the beginning, Iowa here is kind of unfortunately that uh, COVID capital. So, myself trying to do what I can to uh, stop that, contribute to that spread of what's going on here in Iowa, especially because we got school starting up here, and it's pretty crazy, virtual and this kind of new way of doing things. So, but also on the same note, it's cool to be a part of that. To be having a show like this going since the beginning of this crazy pandemic that we are experiencing as Native people. So again, on a positive note, I've been seeing things about the Navajo Nation not really having many COVID cases, that they're kind of in the decline. So, I just want to continue hoping to see, all of our tribal communities and Native nations out there, living a healthy lifestyle and doing our part to take care of our communities and our loved ones, especially our young people, do our part and stay home. If we go out, wear a mask if it's definitely necessary. Um, but again, I always like to kind of promote, like I said, artists creating and continuing to create and write. So I wanted to just kind of share this little poem that I wrote really quick. I believe it was yesterday I started this. And this poem is just kind of looking at, like, again, this crazy situation we are in where we're living in this world of, like, on social media and getting our information from what we see on posts and stuff like that, to also just, I guess, living and experiencing living life in our daily lives. And I kind of just got to thinking about some things, and this is the poem that I came up with. So I don't watch TV, and I'm glad. Also, I just realized I ain't had a cig in months. I wake up and watch documentaries. Nature's so violent. Driving through these small Iowa towns reminds me of that movie Gummo, a pandemic, a ratio. It's whatever, yo. Iowans better get an award coming out of 2020. Nah, natives better get an award for coming out of 2020. Land back, rolling in my Cadillac while the West turns red. I ain't come this far to only watch the world fall. I'ma keep striving. After a dark night comes a bright day, they say. I got kids, so I gotta hope and pray. I don't watch TV, and I'm glad. Stories are told through visions of the past, cinematic journeys to be exact. Pandemic proof facilities produced by plastic companies to keep us safe. paid for by dollars tax, and it has to be like that. I don't watch TV, and I'm glad. So that was again just me trying to, walk that talk, and create, throughout this whole thing. I got other things I'm working on, like I said, from these art exhibitions and things that I got going on, some paintings and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for some of those things, and be sure you check out my clothing brand. We got some things going with that as well. Also, stay in tune to some more up and coming shows we got here. We got our YouTube page going, so check that out as well. The Uplifted channel, where we can find these shows coming on. So with that, we want to get into our second reader. Again, very honored and uh, privileged to bring our second reader. She graduated from Cole College. Um, she was born in Iowa City. She's enrolled in Standing Rock, and she's coming to us by way of the West Coast. So I want you all to put your hands together for Brave Crow.
All right, can everybody hear me okay? I am on some headphones because there's a bunch of children living in this house, as well as my dog. So if you see him, don't worry. I guess I want to start with like a little intro. I'm from Iowa, born in Iowa City, went to Coe College, raised by my grandparents there, went back to my res as an adult, figured all that out. And now I'm in, and then I went to Minnesota. So I was in Minneapolis for a little bit, left after all the weird stuff with Philando, and moved out to the West Coast, moved to Portland. That got weird too. Now I'm in the high desert. I'm in Bend, Oregon, just about a couple hours south of the Warm Springs Reservation, which is a little bit on fire right now. So I might need to take some breaks to drink some water because it's very smoky. But we're inside and we're safe. All right, so I'm gonna start with this first poem that kind of talks about the pandemic. It's called Star Spangled Sickness. Did you not know your survival is not thriving? Chicken scratching the itch, consume the rich, hoarding money is a disease. Land ownership is more than greed. God gave you no title, earth provided no deed. Have you ever called yourself by your name, a noxious weed? Parasitic paradigm breeding faith in empty merit and sweeping accountability under the rugs you've made out of human beings, souls lost to need. This pandemic has been systemic since smallpox weapons, it's the seed, the weed you transplanted as foreign as you, as foreign as American dreams. Right. Most of these poems can be found on my Instagram, which I think we'll shout out later. I had to write them all down on paper. Speak slow. I intend to mean what I say. I mean crow. I mean to caw and claw at the throat. I mean cherries that choke. My enemy is not a person. It's a deep fake. It's a turtle island with an American face. It's a foot race. On broken ankles, I'm still first place. Pain is nothing but a big prayer or the name of a rigged game. I don't drink Kool-Aid. I don't need to be saved. I'm not quiet. I'm rage. And I only wear braids when I mean to be brave. I'm enrolled on Standing Rock. So this one is called Standing Rock Walking, which is based on the legend of Standing Rock, which is basically a woman who was so stubborn she turned herself to stone. And those are my people. Standing Rock Walking. Damned if I don't, never shut the fuck up. Big mouth, small foot, keep it hoof, choose only brick roads. They still have those, and landline telephones. I saw a payphone alone. I watched them raise a sacred memory. I'm walking home, and I'm turning to stone. That was short one. This one I titled Freedom Horse. I never consented to America. I never consented to citizenship or made up borders or to elect your patriarchy to rule over my indigenous body. Sovereignty is not a metaphor. I'm it, tagged up, strapping, cause we ain't going down no more, only up, hair down and shirt tucked. If genocide doesn't kill you, it'll sure rough you up. Stay on your horse, young buck. You're still full of luck and you're still tough. Got a couple more here. This one I call Forage. I believe that we are the kind of weeds that are secretly edible things. And when we go to seed, they see it as defeat, destroying what you can eat for that which is just green. I roar like a dandelion, like I'm about to be windswept to destiny. My progeny is philosophy, and they feed on dreamy rays, hoping for a new location of root and air. I will find you there in the place where dirt weaves into my hair and prickly pears hide treasures like me. This one is called A Haunting. It's kind of based on when I was young, my ancestors used to visit me and like protect me and take care of me, but my white grandparents thought that was like hallucination. So I got very medicated for that. So I don't tell white people about my ancestors, but this one's called A Haunting. I collect histories because I need to and I have to know. I keep my ancestors with me because I thought they haunted me, but now I know. No white supremacy of knowledge could ever fix me. I wasn't broke, just lost in translation and medicated. I'm trying to see through the smoke. Smudge me, sing sweetly, leave me peace, please tread slow. I'm not a treaty, I'm not a token, I'm a living ghost. This one is going to be my last one today, I think. Yeah, this one I call Warrior Beat because it kind of starts with its own rhythm. Step out and step up. You never ran out of luck, just steam. Keep shouting until they know what you speak. They take the fat, but we've always been lean, stubborn and mean. Lakota bloka, no bloke, ain't a joker, no woman less than perfect if you saw what I've seen. Indigenous matriarchy is the only leadership we need. Give our men jobs so they can bring home the meat. Let our two spirits exist so our souls can feed. Then maybe all our gods will be pleased and we can live in peace because the earth is still green. And that's what I prepared for today. So hopefully you could hear it well. If not, all of these poems I selected are currently on my Instagram page. So for anyone hard of hearing or connection issues, can go check that out.
All right, thank you, Crow. Her Instagram is at Brave Crow, I believe, and so definitely check that out. We posted some of her information on the page here. So again, thank you for reading them poems. It's such a really great honor to be able to provide this platform for our artists and our indigenous people. So again, we're always looking for people who want to come on and uh, perform their work, showcase some of their words and their poems and their poetry. Again, hip hop artists, if you're out there watching and you want to come on and do a little something, definitely hit us up at indigenousartalliance@gmail.com. We're looking for all kinds of new people out there who want to be a part of this. So spread the word, share with your relatives, your friends. We got flyers and stuff like that on our social media. So check out Dapian Apparel. We got my fashion things going on, and also just stay up to date on the Indigenous Peoples Art Gallery and Cafe for some of the things that I'm doing with my art, as well as with this show and the YouTube page, the Uplifted channel, where you can find all of this and some of the things that I got working on, some of the projects that I'm doing right now, which I want to share a little bit of that with you before we get on out of here. I've been doing this elder boxes, preparing for winter. After going through a derecho and on top of a pandemic, on top of a lot of things that we got going on here in Iowa. I was really thinking a lot about the community and how unprepared we were for when things like that happen. Because I mean, who really expects a land hurricane to come through your tiny community? So with that in mind, and with knowing what winter Iowa can have, going through ice storms and having a power down through that. One of the things I'd seen that we lost right away was we had to get rid of our food. So with that in mind, I started thinking about how I could give back a little bit, just to at least our elders. And so that's why I started this elder food box drive. So, if you've seen these flyers and things going around that I've been doing, that's who it is. It's me. And I'm just doing that as myself, because again, that's just who I am and how I feel like I can help out a little bit, and I just wanted to put that out there because I'm using my platforms to show that we as young people, like I said, I don't just want to talk about it. I want to be able to prove and show what I'm doing with not only my art, but as a organizer and as an activist here in Iowa. But it's very important. Also, as a person who believes in clean eating and living a healthy lifestyle, being mindful of what you put in your body and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons why I also wanted to do this, was to promote that, because as we've seen, with a lot of things going on with the pandemic and stuff like that, those are the things that we lose, is our food and our food system. And we need to kind of start going back to thinking about our traditional foods and being mindful of what we're putting into our bodies, because we've seen throughout this short period of time that processed food and stuff like that is really hurting our communities, especially our tribal communities, with diabetes and heart disease and heart problems like that. So the thing with these boxes is that they are all foods like that, things that I believe in, healthy foods and stuff like that. So they'll last an elder, should we lose power or go through a crazy ice storm or whatever. Who knows what to expect really at 2020 at this point in the game, because we've gone through so much crazy things. But like I said in the poem, you know, um, even though we're going through this crazy time right now, there's got to be something better, right? There's got to be something better at the end of that. So I think the best way we can get through all of this is to prepare for that, and to be ahead of that change by starting now, doing little things within our own little communities and stuff like that. You don't have to go out and try to change the whole world, but we can do little things here within our communities. And so that's what I had in mind with these elder food boxes. So if you've seen the flyers going around, that's what that's about. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's already shown support and donated so far. And I'm very appreciative and very honored to have that support and to have people helping me with that. So um, again, stay tuned to some of the footage or whatever I'm going to try to put out to show what that's about too. So thank you for that. Again, I just want to shout out to everybody who was a part of this event tonight. Um, Midwest Writing Center, again, for being a part of this. Shout out to Sarah for being behind the scenes. Shout out to Valerie, Shout out to Crow for being a part of this. It was very honor to have you on, and stay tuned for our next up and coming shows, because we're gonna uh, try to get some more hip hop on here, get some MCs back on here. Because I see a lot of people are putting out albums and stuff right now, and definitely want to help support and promote that. So again, thank you all for tuning in tonight, and we shall see you again next week.